The entire crypto market is collapsing, and Solana is not unaffected by that. Solana is mainly used for meme coin trading, and meme coins as risk-on assets tend to bleed even more than the average altcoin. Now in this video, we're going to look at the on-chain data for Solana. Is there a potential for a reversal? Does it make sense to buy this dip? We're going to have a look at the data most people are not considering. So let's dive in. The largest meme coin on the Solana chain is the Trump token with now 1.3 billion of market cap. Number 2 is Bonk. Number 3 is Putty Penguins. Both of those meme coins have been launched by a syndicate of centralized exchanges, and they actually have token inflation. They are not fairly launched pump.fun ecosystem tokens. Now in the last 24 hours, we saw close to 5 billion worth of trading volume on the Solana chain. The vast majority of that comes from pump.swap. Now I'm publishing videos on Solana regularly on this channel, and the recent price action, the weak price development, isn't really a surprise. We have seen very little usage, or rather shrinking usage in the past, but maybe that's now turning around. So let's have a look again at relative valuations. So for example, have a look at this video published 1.5 months ago. It did get more views than the average video on this channel, and we looked at Solana dominance because that tended to trade in a range, and it is still trading in that range. For the last 2 years, Solana as a fraction of all of crypto tended to trade between 2.2 and 3.8%. It's now rather at the lower end of that trading range again. So is there potential for Solana to outperform the rest of crypto by maybe close to 50%? We can't talk about Solana without talking about meme coins and pump.fun. And there is the potential for a turnaround of the pump token as well. Now, if the pump token was to rally, this would very likely also have a positive effect on Solana itself. And there are constant buybacks of the pump token due to the trading volume. Already 12% of the entire pump supply got bought, in total close to $200 million worth. While Solana did struggle in the last few weeks, the amount of stable coins on the chain still stays relatively elevated. It's close to 13 billion. The total value locked, measured in US dollars, tends to recently go down. Measured in Solana, we are close to the all-time high. And that then begs the question, how much more upside potential is there really? Because we have seen a similar development for Ethereum. We had the DeFi summer, then the crypto winter, then the recovery in the last 1 to 2 years. And now Ethereum tends to rather go down again. So when this is the capital on Solana over time, measured in SOL, will this potentially develop the same way as Ethereum did, measured in ETH? The collapse in 2022 and 2023, the recovery in 2024 to a new all-time high, and then growth halted again. In prior videos, we always talked about the activity on the Solana chain, the number of active addresses, and this was coming down quite consistently. But in the last few weeks, we seem to be stable. We seem to be stabilizing. So there was massive growth with pump.fun that peaked in November of last year. Since then, we are coming down, but in the last 1 to 2 months, we haven't shrunk anymore. It seems like we are close to 2 million active addresses every day now. Here is the decentralized exchange trading volume on Solana in US dollars. Here's the same measured in SOL. So over the years, this is growing. And so very long term, Solana is able to outperform its strongest competitor. So Ethereum, right, the largest of the smart contract platforms. It is doing better despite Solana not having any meaningful treasury companies. Ethereum is getting bought by Tom Lee's Bitmine. Solana doesn't have any big Wall Street companies that acquire the token long term. Yet it can still outperform ETH. There might be a potential turnaround again with an outperformance of close to 100%. Now part of that outperformance might not just be Solana going up, because I do expect that Ethereum will continue to go down. I don't really like doing it, but that's how the YouTube game works. That's how the algorithm works. Please give this video a like if what you've seen so far has been useful. Thank you very much. We did see a nice bounce in Ethereum dominance in September of 2019 after the collapse in 2018. So this was a recovery. People went more risk on. This was then the merge and the transition of technology for Ethereum, right? The move from proof of work to proof of stake. Everybody bought Ethereum in anticipation of that event. Since then, ETH underperformed the rest of the market. Then in April of this year, we bounced off a very similar level to September of 2019. And we talked about this potential bounce at the time. Feel free to check out Ethereum videos on this channel that have been published around that time. Feel free to also check out Ethereum videos before that. And feel free to not just do that with this channel, feel free to do this also with your other favorite crypto channels. What did they actually say about Ethereum at different points in time? Now that Tom Lee isn't buying that much Ethereum anymore, now that the stock is going down, Ethereum is also having a hard time to outperform. And so when Ethereum dominance is going down, this will of course also help the Solana to Ethereum ratio. There is a potential issue with Solana though, and that is it's regarded as the most risky of the major altcoins. So when the general market is not going up, if we don't see a bounce in Bitcoin now, if Bitcoin can't hit any new all-time highs, then Solana will also have a hard time recovering. There is correlation between the Solana dominance, so how important is Solana within the space, and simply the crypto market cap. When crypto is expanding, Solana tends to expand faster. When crypto is shrinking, Solana tends to go down faster. So Solana acts as a levered asset on the crypto space. What we see here at the top, that's the Solana relative to Bitcoin chart. What we see at the bottom, that's the cryptocurrency market cap except stablecoins. So there is positive correlation, right? When crypto is expanding, Solana tends to outperform Bitcoin. When crypto is shrinking, Solana tends to underperform Bitcoin. Now that outperformance stopped already at the beginning of 2014. So Solana relative to BTC made a very nice rally, but while the crypto market continued to expand, Solana didn't benefit from this more than the average token. And so if we are bearish on the overall sector now, if we actually enter a contraction, then very likely Solana will bleed much more than the rest. In the worst case, it could underperform Bitcoin by 75%. Now, if you've watched my other videos on the overall crypto market on this channel, then you do know that I'm rather bearish. I'm rather pessimistic because the long-term holders continue to sell. The long-term holders in Ethereum and in Bitcoin continue to offload. They take advantage of the current prices. They're still in net profit and they're taking that profit now. And if those two assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum, continue to go down, then very likely Solana will go down even more than that. Solana stays a risk on play. So many retail investors got burnt with meme coins. Even the Trump token, the largest of the meme coins, got sold off massively over time. And so there's a good chance it will take a while until new capital comes in again, until the risk appetite increases again. Yes, short-term Solana dominance might be low, but long-term things can be much, much worse. If we enter a bear market, we have seen Solana dominance go all the way down to 0.46%. So a drop of 80% from here. So the relative underperformances are comparable, right? Solana dominance or Solana relative to Bitcoin. In the worst case, we could go much, much lower. Really, when buying this dip, that's essentially the hope that long-term holders will stop selling the major crypto assets. And unfortunately, that's rather accelerating recently, right? This is the long-term holder supply change of BTC. If that turns bullish again, right? If that turns into purchases, then I might buy the dip, right? As it did in March of this year. That was also a good time to buy Solana. Solana dominance was over here at the time, and then it outperformed the rest of the market by 40%. So all those things are interconnected. If the long-term holders don't stop with their panic selling, it will be very hard for Solana to do anything, not just in terms of US dollar returns, but also in terms of relative performance. Simply because there's so much correlation between the general market and Solana's relative performance. Solana does act as a levered asset on Bitcoin to a degree. By the way, if you want to know what kind of trades I do, feel free to check out the premium membership. We are currently making money with that crash. If it's the very first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish this regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you in premium. Cheers.